Na je, wakikubali ni Rigiji mtaniunga mkono? Na wacha nimwambie, kwa bahati nzuri wakisema ni Rigiji, hii mtu nitamkimbiza kama baiskeli ya kuibua. Harambee! Harambee! Kiboko ya Kasongo ni nani? Kiboko ya Kasongo ni nani? Kiboko ya Kasongo ni nani? Wewe Kasongo, nilikufanya rais wa Kenya, nikaunganisha mlima Kenya, watu milioni 4 wakakuchagua, ukatuonesha madharau, ukatusaliti, ukaita sisi wa kabila. Nitaunganisha watu ya mlima, tushikana na watu ya Mlambe Nation, na watu ya Gusii, na Ukambani.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sure that most of you as we speak today, they are able to tell that Rigathi Gachagua has a plan. Has a plan that is well executed in each and every time he makes a move. And most of you are able to tell that considering the political activities in the opposition, he looks to be one of the most enlightened and actually focused opposition leader as we speak today. Now, let me tell you why I'm telling you this. At an individual capacity, Mount Kenya is well consolidated by Rigathi Gachagua.
Called the Mount Kenya region will deal with traitors for the next 50 years. Hakuna mtu atasaliti hii jamii miaka 50. We are going to send a very strong signal kwa wale wote wamesaliti jamii ya Mlima Kenya. Wale wote wameuza jamii tumbo zao, tutawashughulikia. Pamoja na William Ruto tutafukuza nyinyi yote pamoja, one way, mwende nyumbani.
He has consolidated the Mount Kenya in various stages. Number 1, he started talking of one man, one vote, one shilling. Number 2, he started talking of protection of the Mount Kenya employees and community. He developed certain slogans that were to bring the people of Mount Kenya together. That is consolidation of Mount Kenya. And right now, he has emerged as the person championing or speaking on behalf of the Mount Kenya people. At an individual capacity, Rigathi Gachagua has already started his own party, the DCP, which talks of Skiza Ground.
DCP! DCP!
That is very significant. The people of Mount Kenya are said to have entered in William Ruto's government without a party. And now they want their own party that will take them to government in 2027. And when they check closely, they needed a party. Rigathi Gachagua identified the gap and filled a party there. Ladies and gentlemen, some might ask, why are you assuming Jubilee? No, Jubilee is finished. Let us be very honest about that. It cannot take the center stage in the national political platform. It cannot. Number 2, Rigathi Gachagua is a beast politically. Whatever he comes up with, nobody can be able to challenge that easy. Remember, this is the guy William Ruto used to stop Uhuru Kenyatta in Mount Kenya region. So this is not a person any other politician in Mount Kenya should underrate. If Uhuru Kenyatta was defeated by him, then who is this coming to challenge Rigathi Gachagua? Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua has popularized himself, and he has ensured that he always remains at the top. To just give you an example, William Ruto said this.
Mtu kama huyo apigwe risasi miguu, aende hospitali, akienda kotini. Yes. Yeah.
The only person who responded to him first through a press conference, it is Rigathi Gachagua, and this is what he had to say.
This morning, I've seen Ruto quivering and wailing in uncontrollable anger. Mr. Ruto, excessive anger is not a solution. I want, with a lot of humility, to advise you to stop being angry. That will not help. You need to know what you need to do because you have not been listening to the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya are more angry than you are. They are angry because you have overtaxed them. There is wanton corruption. There is abductions and extrajudicial killings. There is ethnic profiling. another ills that bedevil your administration.
That is a clear indication that Rigathi Gachagua always remains at the top. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak today, we have all seen that he has proven to be politically organized. Rigathi Gachagua is very well organized. Look at the rallies that he conducts across the country. Whether it's with other opposition leaders, you are able to see that whatever Rigathi Gachagua is doing, it is very unique from the others. The cheering from the crowd, the branding of the party, the messaging that he's giving, and actually did a video on how he was doing his messaging in his speech. That is proven organization. The only person who is able to do that is Raila Amolo Odinga. In his speech, it's not even William Ruto. William Ruto is so mixed up. It is not any other politician. It is just Raila Amolo Odinga. Unless these other politicians also come up with the same idea. Kalonzo Musyoka can speak, reaching somewhere in the middle, he's mixed up. Matiang'i, we are yet to see his structure in his speech. Other leaders that do have probably some focus, let me talk of probably it is Natembeya, who is also talking about the interest of Mount Kenya, of Western Kenya, I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak today, I have to state it categorically that Rigathi Gachagua, he also recognized that he has weaknesses that have been branded to him by other leaders like William Ruto, Faruk Kibet, generally the KK government. They have branded him a tribal leader. They have branded him a person who just operates in Mount Kenya. They have branded him a villager. They have told him it's a man who doesn't know how to dress. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua started dressing well. And you can all see as we speak today, he's above there. Ladies and gentlemen, they call him tribal. As we speak today, he's dealing with it day by day. He went to the coastal region and asked the people there that they call me tribal and that I don't leave the Mount Kenya region. Hapa ni Nyeri, but then he was in Mombasa. Hapa ni Kiambu, hapa ni Murang'a. He did the same thing in Western Kenya region. Ladies and gentlemen, he's dealing with the issue of operation and tribalism. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua, as we speak today, people have also called him so many other things, but he's dealing with them one by one. Those are things that he has done at an individual capacity. Now, Rigathi Gachagua is focused and going for the 2027 seat. And as we speak today, we can all see that he's eyeing the presidency. On this particular video, I want to take you through step by step on what Rigathi Gachagua is up to. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, kindly make sure that you subscribe, like and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. For those kindly who have not subscribed, don't fail to do so. My number is here. Reach out to me, talk to me, engage me, because that is how I get to learn. For those who want to support the channel, feel free to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, in Mount Kenya, there are about 10 counties that Rigathi Gachagua depends on. And in those 10 counties, as per to the statistics of 2022, they have about 5.2 million votes intact. Now, we are having those who have not registered yet, but they are already at 5.2 million registered voters, according to the ABC register. Ladies and gentlemen, with those number of votes, he can be able to determine who becomes the president, including himself. Now, what has he done? He has sat down and seen the numbers. And he has said, for him to be much more strong, he needs to push them to 8 million votes. And that's a clear indication that he's eyeing the presidency, whether he's supporting someone or whether he's even going to go it himself. Now, he recognizes that there's an opposition existing. Some of you might ask, why is he always recognizing? He recognizes the opposition exists. And he knows there are chances that he can support an opposition leader, one of the opposition leaders, or even two of the opposition leaders to go for the presidency and deputy as well. And actually, the combination that is most likely it's Kalonzo, Matiang'i, or Matiang'i, Kalonzo, or Matiang'i, or even Rigathi Gachagua deputized by any of them, or him deputizing any of those two. But at the back of his mind, Rigathi Gachagua knows that there are chances of a disagreement within the opposition. In that, some opposition leaders might not meet the expectations that he has. Because he said, tutaketi kwa meza, tujadiliane. And Rigathi Gachagua is going to bring numbers, plan, funds, energy, and then ask the rest, what do you have? So in a scenario where they don't agree, Rigathi Gachagua has a plan. And that plan is very evident in the speech that I played at the start of the video and in most of the occasions that he has gone to in the Republic as we speak. For his campaigns, of course. So ladies and gentlemen, what is this plan that he has? He has seen the Western region. And the Western region has almost 3 million votes. So he's thinking of having these votes on board. If these other politicians do not fail, he has targeted of merging the Mount Kenya and of course the Western region so that they can produce a candidate. That's why he keeps on reminding the people of Mount Kenya, both on the media and rallies, that actually reminding the people of Mount Kenya and those of Western region, that whenever the people of Mount Kenya and Western people come together, they form government. He gave an example of Mwai Kibaki, where he had Kijana Wamalwa, where he also had Mudi Awori. A clear indication that Rigathi Gachagua is focused in those two regions a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Mount Kenya has 5.2 million votes. Western Kenya, and actually the counties that include Mount Kenya, for those who might not be aware, it is Meru, Tharaka Nithi, Embu, Nyandarua, Nyeri, Kirinyaga, Murang'a, Kiambu, Nakuru, and Laikipia. Western Kenya has Kakamega, Vihiga, Busia, Trans Nzoia, and Bungoma. I cannot avoid saying that Raila Amolo Odinga, William Ruto have entirely consolidated the people of Mount Kenya, of Western Kenya, using their political leaders. And I'm going to do an extensive video on that. But also, if the Western Kenya people have number 2 or number 1, then this country is fixed. Then there's a possibility that the Western Kenya region can be able to come together and support that leader, who is either number 1 or number 2. If well marketed, leave alone Mudavadi's campaign that was done back in 2013, I guess. It was not a good one. I'm talking about this of Rigathi Gachagua, of aggressiveness. Now, these counties, making of Kakamega, Vihiga, Busia, Trans Nzoia, and Bungoma, they have about 3 million votes. Now, Rigathi Gachagua, if he brings, for instance, and his first priority is George Natembeya, if he brings Natembeya on board, Natembeya can be able to unite those people and bring a huge, significant amount of votes on board. And be able to actually even win the presidency with Rigathi Gachagua. Because if Rigathi Gachagua brings on board 6 million votes, plus these 2 million from Western Kenya region, plus many others from other parts of the country, then these people are going to win the presidency. Some of you might say that Natembeya is early to maybe Matiang'i more. Okay, Rigathi Gachagua has plan B, the deputy party leader of the DCP party, Cleophas Malala. If he brings Cleophas Malala, some of you might say this guy is young, is not at the top like those other leaders in Western Kenya region. Let me tell you this. William Ruto brought up some leaders that people did not expect, like Rigathi Gachagua, to be deputy presidents and beat Uhuru Kenyatta within the Central Kenya region. That is the same game that can be done in 2027. Cleophas Malala has once been a senator. Leave alone Rigathi Gachagua, who was just a member of parliament. He was a senator of Kakamega County, the headquarters of Western region. So if he comes up again, that guy, he understands the Western politics, he's well known by the people, and is well spoken of. So he's able to rise above, campaign, and deliver votes for Rigathi Gachagua. So therefore, is the plan B for Rigathi Gachagua. Cleophas Malala has indicated that he wants to go for the gubernatorial seat of Kakamega. But if things don't go as expected, wait for him to be the deputy president of Rigathi Gachagua, and will challenge it at the ballot. What are the benefits of Rigathi Gachagua going this way? If he might not be the first, he'll be the second. We have to agree that. So, the fact means that they reach a time where the first and the second are going to be considered. And in round 2, there's no spirit in this country that exists like that one of Mount Kenya. They're going to come out from the first person to the last to vote for their leader. That's the first thing you have to know. Secondly, the Western people having number 2, it's going to be terrible unless William Ruto also goes from David. Number 3, ladies and gentlemen, people have been asked, ukiakiwa kondoo hapa na William Ruto, utapigia nani kura? I'm not saying Rigathi Gachagua is a kondoo, but I'm saying is an alternative. So people might consider Rigathi Gachagua and Cleophas Malala. The branding that Rigathi Gachagua is making right now as we speak, the energy that is putting on board, wait and see. I don't know what's your take. Share with me on the comment section what you think. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting me to the 10,000 subscription mark that we've made. See you next time for more videos.